Hello and welcome to the workshop where we're taking a closer look at Cavalex Models' new Class 56.
That's right, it's featured in the latest issue of Hornby Magazine. That's issue 201, our March 2024 issue, where we're taking an in-depth look at these stunning new additions for double O gauge.
Aren't they wonderful?
They certainly are. We've got a nice collection on the layout today. Now, we've done quite a few videos with Cavalex Models in the process of actually them creating this model, but what we haven't done is put across our own view on these new models either.
So, what's your initial thought?
Initial thoughts? Well, these are an absolutely stunning replica of the Class 56, and anyone who's read my review so far, if you're about to read the review, will see that I've got lots of positive things to say about these new locos.
So let's talk about the overall specification to start with.
Well, specification is very, very high on these locos. So for starters, they've got the traditional things like we'd expect, like a 5-pole motor inside. We've got twin flywheels, got really smooth drive to the outer axles of each bogie, so it's 4-axle drive with a centre floating axle, and that has absolutely zero impact on their capability to haul scale length trains. So you can still put 36 MGR hoppers behind one of these and it will just walk around the layout with it very, very happily. You've got a full suite of lighting functions in there. You've got independently powered roof fans, and I don't just mean one motor driving the 2 fans. Both roof fans are fully independently powered, and if you've got the sound fitted versions, there's another amazing feature where they actually spool up at different rates depending on what the loco is doing. Now,
looking at the externals quickly, each model has an individual set of specifications, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So obviously there's a few build series for the Class 56s. So the first ones were built in Romania by Electrifutair, and then the second batch was built at Doncaster, with the final batch being built at Crewe. And each one of those build batches has slight variations to it, and actually even within the Doncaster locos there's 2 variations in terms of front end layout as well. And what Cavalex has done is they've created a tuning suite which does cover everything from the original locos, so from 56001 right through to the very present day, and that includes 56081 that's on the layout here today, which has got what's one of the last 2 that was operated by GBF. Actually 56081 has just been taken out of traffic by GBF to be converted to a Class 69, but actually it's got individual details on 56081, like the square intensity headlight, it's got the square off buffers and features like that as well. Also,
the body shells, I think possibly even a first for this, is the cantrail grills are all see-through.
They are, yeah. That's one of the many fine details on these. So if you come down low and look dead side on at these, rather than it being an engraving into the plastic like we've traditionally seen with cantrail grills, there are actually openings all the way through inside the body on these. And then you've got things like, for example, as the etch metal grills on them. The etch metal grills, you've got different etches depending on which locomotive series they are as well, and that goes for the roof fan grills as well.
The level of detail even extends down to the bogies, doesn't it? Because that's all built up.
Yes, many separate parts being put into the bogies. You've got all the fully separately fitted steps. You've got the wonderful multi-layer detail on the bogies as well. There really is no area here that hasn't been done to the highest standard.
They really do look the part. Now, they're available DCC ready and DCC sound fitted.
Yes.
Some of these have got sound fitted to them. What's your impression of the sound files on board?
Well, as you can hear in the video, it sounds just like the real thing. A really nicely done sound profile. Got lots of functionality into it as well, so you've got options for just standard throttle driving, so you can just use the control knob to actually adjust how the sound scheme responds, or you've got optional manual driving options with function buttons as well, so you can switch to a heavy engine sound. So for example, if you're working with a heavy train, you can switch over to a different mode where it responds slightly differently to throttle inputs and drives differently. Anyway, we get different sounds performing as well. And you've also got the options then to manually manipulate the sound as well, so you can make it notch up or you can make it notch down using function buttons. So a really comprehensive sound suite. Added to that, you've also got the full suite of functioning lights as well, so you can turn the main high intensity light on and off independent of the marker lights. You can have the tail lights controlled independently, you control the cab lights independently. It really is a total package.
It's all going on, isn't it?
It really is. More features I think I've got words for.
And now you've had a chance to play with it, what's your thought on the drivability?
Well, it responds really well to both the throttle inputs and to the manual notching side as well. And one of my favourite little details of the sound scheme actually is when you wind the throttle down and the engine note starts to drop, you've then got the bogey rattle, which is a really distinctive feature of 56s which plays through. It's a really nice sound that normally when you hear a loco and you've notched it down, like if say it's coasting, you've just got an idling engine sound, but actually you've then got all the other ancillary sounds going off with this. So it's got that kind of jingle as the bogies are running along the rails and stuff like that. It's an absolutely wonderful experience to drive one of these.
So safe to say it's a very immersive experience with
Oh,
this.
it is totally, definitely an immersive experience. I mean, we'd seen a lot of these, like I said, but with the pre-production parts of the process that the Cavalex Models have shown to us here in the workshop. But then, even after that, to actually get your hands on one of these and to actually interact with it yourself and play with it, as we say, it is that totally immersive experience that you get the sense of.
I think with all of this detail, it's just phenomenal that the individual locos are represented accurately.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, and so many of them as well. I think there's 14 in the first batch, including, well, we've got 4 of them here on the layout today, but they're covering all the different liveries from original BR Blue right up to the current present day liveries. For example, 56098 and 081, they're both in the GBRF twin pack, which were the 2 locos that ran the Class 56 rail tool about 12 months ago. Then you've got 56091, which is still operational with DC rail freight. And actually, interestingly, 098's just been on loan to DC rail freight as well, so it's been operating on the stone trains that 091's seen on.
So what about price and availability?
So they're available now. Well, stocks have gone through very quickly, so some of the SoundFit versions have sold out with quite a few retailers. But they're priced at £189.95 for the DCC ready versions and £289.95 for the DCC SoundFit versions, which come with a ESU lock sound chip in them and a large, powerful speaker as well.
So there you have it, Cavalex Models, brand new, 00 gauge Class 56. You can read the full review on the model in HM201, which is the March 2024 issue of Hornby Magazine, available now. And of course, see more at the website at keymodelworld.com. Thank you for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Bye for now.